Hey, it's Jason.
And it's Jam.
Welcome to Podcast for Your Life, where we share thoughts from our life for yours.
In 15 minutes or less.
Starting now. Oh, quick. Jump in. Say the thing. So what are we talking about today? Got anything to say?
So, we're talking about hats.
Oh.
Or lids, or caps, or, it goes by many names.
Mm-hmm. Lids, yep.
Yeah. Lids with a Z.
Yeah, that's and a Y.
Mm-hmm. It's funny to think about it as a lid for humans.
Yeah.
Just like it would be for like a bottle. It's like, oh yeah, hey, don't forget your lid. You're going to spill all over the place.
Can you please put your lid on? You're letting all that hot air out.
Yeah, what are hats, Jason?
Hats are just something you put on your head, really. I think it's the best way to sum it up.
Something you put on your head.
Yeah. It could be a baseball cap. It can be a sombrero.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a bucket of water.
Is a crown a hat?
Yeah, I'd say a crown's a hat.
Man, that's interesting. It's interesting to think about it just being one kind of
hat.
hat. It's like everybody wears hats. For instance, they've got that pointy, shiny one, and I've got this straw one. We've all got hats.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a book, like a kid's book, about different types of hats, like 99 hats or something like that. It's probably called 99 hats.
If there isn't one already, then we should just make it.
That's true. Yeah, we should. What would you say is your favorite type of hat? It doesn't have to be one that you personally own or wear, but just in general.
I only own and wear really just baseball caps.
Okay.
More specifically, unstructured, which means it doesn't have the part that kind of keeps it upright. It's just floppy.
Okay. Yep.
Doesn't have the domey piece to it. And those are my favorite kind of hats. Some people call them dad hats, which is actually a great colloquialism.
Mm-hmm.
Some websites even title them as that. So
yeah,
that's my favorite kind of hat. What about you?
So my favorite is probably a beanie.
Nice.
And it's 94% functional.
Mm-hmm.
I think a beanie is perfect for when you're out in the cold. It's just it's like somebody's giving your head a hug, a warm hug,
Nice.
And I have one from one of my friends has a printing company called Aesthetic Supply Co. And he prints beanies, and I have one of his beanies. It's really cool. That's
nice.
The first beanie I've had, though, that I feel like it's on the fashionable side versus it just being like a solid black beanie or gray or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the beanies that I've had have been functional for staying warm during the winter months. I also like baseball caps. I think the rim on a baseball cap is pretty awesome. I feel like I'm starting to lean into more of I prefer the visor route. Like I have a cap that's I have two hats that are like the mesh backing, and I like that because I feel a little bit cooler. Because I don't really feel like I need something to cover the top of my head. It's mostly like I like having the bill for the shade, or to block the sun. Besides that, I don't really wear them for. I think most of the hats I wear are just functional.
Yeah, I kind of lied to you. I forgot about beanies for some reason. I definitely have and do enjoy the beanie. Yeah. So that's the winter version, I guess, of what I would wear. But otherwise, just baseball caps. But yeah, I know what you mean. Just the bill, the part that really, keeps the sun out of your eyes is the most important part. However, I've always wondered, I've always felt a little bit like visors are useless. But now that you put it the way you just put it, it makes more sense. Yes. But I've just thought, why cut off the top of the hat? Because I just thought about, it's just that we're used to what hats look like. And I always associate visors with golfers and stuff.
Exactly.
And so it always just seems like, why? Why don't you just wear a hat, dude? But you're right.
The idea.
The important part is just keep the sun out of your eyes, which I think brings up a good point about that's just probably how hats came about in the first place. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's the ones to keep your head warm, but I would guess that some of the first hats were about the sun and working outside and all that stuff, which is kind of interesting. It's stuck around.
Yeah, I mean, the baseball cap probably came from baseball players who were like, we want to be able to see the ball when it's up in the air, and the hat helps block from the sun. You know, like, I don't know if sunglasses were invented, but baseball caps probably came first.
Yeah.
And even non-prescription sunglasses, you know?
I
so
wonder.
I feel like, that's one of the reasons is functional. So
Yeah. I wonder if when the baseball cap came out, or whatever was the first kind of cap that only had the bill at the front. Like maybe it's more like the English kind of beret or whatever you call those.
A top hat?
Well, top
Stove
hat. But I
hat?
mean, what's like the kind of French English like sort of cabbie hat? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, the grandpa hat.
Yeah, that was probably the first hat that just had the bill in the front, I would guess.
Yes.
I wonder if
absolutely,
when that hat came out and it didn't have a bill all the way around, I wonder if it looked weird to people. If they were like, "Whoa, what's the deal, dude?" Like kind of like the visor.
That's true.
Like, where's the rest of your hat? And at some point, crowns were invented too. And then they had the cabbie hat thing, and then they had baseball caps,
hard hats.
and then a really unfortunate misstep in my mind. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
People started turning the hat backward.
Okay.
The part that matters is the bill. Keeps the sun out of your eyes.
Yeah, specifically hats with bills is what you're saying,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And they're turning it backward, which I get it. It's like stick it to the man, be a rebel, whatever. But I'm also like, but now the hat's going to be a lot less useful to you. Do what you want.
But your neck is covered at that point. So maybe they just had sensitive necks, and that's ultimately what they were trying to go off of.
That's a really good point. I kind of feel like that's probably not the reason, but touche. I always think like if you had to choose between them, wouldn't it be nice not to have to look in the sun? Like, okay, my neck might get a little bit burned, but at least I can see. It's like just so annoying to be like, especially in Texas. I mean, it's rough out here. It's like just squinting, and you're just like having to use your hand to make a hat for yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you gotta have that bill in the front. I feel like.
Yeah.
I just always felt like those people. I'm like, how do we not think those people look kind of dumb? Like they're using it wrong. Do they know that? Anyway, that's it. That's all I got on that.
What do you think about the idea of hat person? Do you think that exists? That there are some people who just look better with hats and other people who don't? Or
that's a good question.
Have you heard that term before? I've heard that.
I have heard that term, and I have met people like that. I think there's people who, like, you see them. I think it partly could just be that they wear a hat a lot, and so if you see them not wearing a hat, that is freaking you out a little bit. But I've known people who really do look really good in a hat, and it's like, you don't look bad without one, but I've seen you with a hat on, and you look great. It just kind of becomes your style. I don't know.
Yeah, because I always tell people, like, I'm not a hat person. Like I've said, it's mostly function for me, and I don't wear it as part of my wardrobe, you know. But there are some people who they like love hats, and there's various reasons. I think some people wear it to, especially guys, cover up balding, and others wear it just because they do sports a lot or they're outdoors a lot or something. Others just wear it for fashion.
There's a guy at my church who always wears a hat. And older guy, I mean, like not like older, but like in his 40s. He's balding, but he always wears a hat. But he looks great in a hat. Like, and it's not because I'm like, oh, dude, cover your balding. It's not like that at all. But he really does. He's that type. He looks great in a hat. Really? And the occasional times I've seen him take it off, I'm just a little bit like, whoa, you don't look like yourself. You know?
You're naked. Put that back on.
Yeah. Jeez.
Put a lid on it.
We're in public, dude. Come on.
Yes. Yep.
So you're not a hat person. You don't consider yourself a hat person.
No. Yeah. I just feel like it makes me hotter. So I mainly only do it from like, okay, it might make me hotter, but I'm going to temperature wise, and I'm going to block the sun. That's or keep my head warm is mostly it. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, and it's not like I put a lot of work in my hair so that I like want to show it off. I really don't. I literally just like part it to the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just have never been like, I don't feel like I need. I don't know.
Do you think
I'm
it's
not
a decision?
where it's coming from?
Do people decide that they want to become a hat person, or do people
Possibly?
does it happen to them, you know?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of both.
Because what if you just tomorrow woke up and you were like, I'm going to be a hat person. This is going to be who I am now. Do you think you could pull it off?
I wouldn't pull it off because I'm not, but I think there's some listeners who probably would be able to do that.
I'm not saying you have to. I just mean like, is there an element of like you could do it if you wanted?
Yeah. Yes, I think there is. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. You do you, boo. When I was playing baseball in like middle school, we went to a local baseball team game. I think it was like a minor league baseball team, and we all wore our uniforms. Like, oh yeah, we'll wear our team uniforms and stand out and stick together and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's like a team outing. And I remember there being something called a rally cap, and basically what we would do is we'd take our baseball caps and we'd squish in the back, so it's kind of like curved and kind of a cone, and then you stick it on your head kind of sideways, and that's supposedly your rally cap.
Huh.
But yeah, that was my random hat story.
Weird. I have never seen that. I remember experiencing like a lot of like weird bill shapes, like bend your bill like a triangle or bend it like this or whatever. But I don't think I experienced the rally cap. That sounds like something that I missed out on. One question I've always had in my mind for a long time is when it's appropriate to and not to wear hats. There's an idea about it being not appropriate for some situations, and there's kind of an old tradition with that too. It seems like some contexts or like don't wear your hat at the dinner table, that kind of stuff or whatever. We were at my grandmother's like memorial service, or like the like people gathering at the house and eating food together afterward. And my cousin was there. I don't see him very often. He didn't live super close by. And he was there, and he was wearing a hat at one point, and was wearing it at the dinner table. And now, mind you, this was like a lot of mingling. It wasn't like a formal dinner. A lot of mingling, walking around, snacks, cheese, whatever. And my granddad this is kind of his thing. He was not pleasant to talk to or be around. And so he got really mad at my cousin, and like, I can't remember if he like just snatched the hat off of his head, and my cousin was like an adult, like a 20-something-year-old guy at this point, and like shamed him about it.
Ooh.
And it's like already a difficult enough situation at after a funeral. And it was super weird. And he said something about like, don't come back here if you're going to wear a hat at the table like that. And it was just so extreme. And I remember thinking like at the moment I was just like, oh wow, Granddad's mad. And I kind of didn't get it, but I was a kid. So I thought, I guess old folks know what's right or whatever. And then later I remember thinking like, that's so dumb. It's just a piece of fabric on your head. Like, get over it. Like, how does that interact with your food? I mean, it's not like it's like you're going to use the hat to scoop the food out of the bowl or something. I don't know.
Do you have any more spoons? Oh, that's okay. I'll just use my hat.
Yeah, I just like eat out of this. It's just like so ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not really sure I get hat etiquette.
Yeah.
When it's right, when it's wrong to wear one. Because I think like a lot of times people take it off in respect for something. The national anthem or praying. And I'm always like, what is it? What is the symbolism behind removing it from your head, uncovering your head? I wonder if there's some old tradition that I don't know about. So
yeah, and there really could be. It just, I think what's funny is that a lot of times people don't know that. They just carry on the tradition even if they don't know the reason. Exactly. And so you get situations like an old guy getting mad at a funeral because of that.
Yep.
Hats, the cherry on top.
Hats, they're what's up.
Oh, nice.
Hats, putting the cap in captain since 1803.
That's good.
Well, I think we've put a lid on this episode, Jam, so thanks so much for your thoughts, as always.
Anytime, Jason, anytime. Except for over the next couple weeks. We're reaching a time again where we're going to have a sort of, planned hiatus for a bit while I get used to being a father here soon. So by the time you're hearing this, I'll probably already be a father, and I'll be needing your moral support. So we'll be taking a little bit of break, and then we'll be back once I've got my life together.
Sure, or mostly together.
Yeah, probably together. And so we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.